going to tell you 3 tools, and 3 tools only. These are the 3 tools that changed my life so many times, that saved my life so many times, that literally allow me to live in a positive space no matter what is going on around me. There is no better time to bring you guys a video on motivation and success the end of January, where people are falling off the wagon from their New Year's resolutions. So I am not a life coach or a guru or a therapist. However, I've been closely linked to all 3 of those all around the world. But I feel that because of the things that I've gone through in my life, and because of the things that I've learned, that I have become my own version of a professional in this space. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Turn on those notifications. I'm doing a lot more content like this coming up. I've been thinking a lot, what is my intention in being an influencer in doing this job? I think about that in everything I do. What is my intention? Because I think that that drives everything within what you're doing. My intention in being in this role is I want people to come to my channel, to come to my content, whatever social media you're viewing, and I want you to learn tools and ways to live a better life, to feel better about yourself, whether it's through glam or fashion. But also I want you to hear my stories of like success and non-success. I want you guys to hear about struggles that I've overcome and things that I've gone through in my life to get to where I'm at now. This way that I am now, this life that I'm living now, is because I literally picked myself up off the floor and by my bootstraps made real choices and real decisions and moved my life in this direction. And I believe every single person, no matter the circumstance, you can absolutely 100% change your life. You can make your life into the grandest, most incredible thing ever. You and I both know, or I at least know from experience, life is not about the outside circumstances, because they're going to get good and they're going to get bad. But the way that you are in every situation in life, that can be the driver to your success, to your motivation, to just everything good that you want out of life. Honestly, this is my bread and butter as much as fashion and beauty and travel and all of those other things that I portray in pictures on my social medias. Those things are really easy to just take a picture of and put them out there. But this is the content that's important. Your life is the most important thing. The way that you live your life, it is incredibly important. You only have one. That's it. And so many people are living their lives on autopilot and just going to a job that they don't really like for 5 days, coming home, vegging out and numbing out with substances and TV and food and whatever it is that you want to numb out with on the weekends, and doing it all over again. And I do not want that for anyone watching this video or watching this channel, because life can be so much better. It's not like you need to go out and quit your job tomorrow if you don't like your job. It's about learning to be happy in the space that you're in, and then learning how to assess your life, learning what you need to do to move it in the direction that you want to move it in, and then a few tools to maintain that. These are the 3 things that I go back to no matter what. If I'm going through an up season or a down season, a hard time, or literally the most blissful, joyful, euphoric time, which I feel like I've experienced so many of those lately. Like, life is so good, but it's because I'm making it into this by using these tools. So the number 1 thing, you must assess your life. And I'm not saying sit down and say, this is the job I have, this is how old I have, this is how old I am, this is how many kids I have, this is where I live. How do you feel in your life right now? Do you feel good, or do you feel bad? Do you feel happy or sad? Do you feel like you're living your life on autopilot, and when a good emotion comes along or something great happens in your life, you feel great and happy? When something bad happens, you feel really sad? Do you feel totally disconnected from controlling your emotions and the way that you feel every day and exist in the world? You really have to have a very clear picture of how you feel about your life before you can move forward in changing it. You know, I use the word autopilot because that's what I see it as. And I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago, I was living my life on autopilot. I was letting the things that, other people thought that I should do, or the things that I thought I should do for other people, I let all those things control my life. And I was just like sitting there, just riding along. I decided, heck no, that's not how I want to live my life. I want to live my life in control of my life, in control of creating the life that I want to create, regardless of the circumstances. Because you can't control all the circumstances all the time. So this sounds like a really easy thing. But the thing is it's not. Because so many people will live 15 years and they're like, well, shoot, where'd those 15 years go? It's because people just live their lives like not even digging in deep. Like, either because they don't have to, or because they don't know to, or because they just are fine living a life that's fine. I don't want you guys to be fine with living a life that's fine, because you're worth so much more than that. Had I kept living my life like I had at some points in my life, I would have lived my life like that. Like, just everything's fine. But that is not how I wanted to live my life. Really sit down and assess your life. And you need to do this throughout. So even when you're really happy, like, do it several times in a month, or do it, a couple times in a year. Really look at your life and assess it, see how it's going, and that's the first key to success. Another huge piece in maintaining a happy life, in finding this incredible joy in your life, you have to look at the things that you are using in your life to numb. What do you even mean by that? When I say numbing, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a substance. It doesn't have to be alcohol or medication, or it can be things like Netflix. It can be through food. I've absolutely used food so many times in my life as something to escape things or to deal with things, just because, like, something can be making you feel a certain way and there's just nothing else you want to do but go to the next restaurant and just eat and eat and eat. I had to face this problem like 5 years ago. I had to stop drinking. I had to stop taking every kind of medication that wasn't Tylenol, and I had to face this problem. Now, today, I choose to face this problem. I am so thankful that, like, it hit me in the face like that. When you get in those phases, I think that there's something underlying the reason that you're doing that, the reason that you're numbing out, and the reason that you're not engaging in your life. I had to, in my life, examine those times that I was doing that, and that maybe single-handedly was one of the biggest transitions that I made in my life. Today, for me, I have nothing to numb anything, because I don't drink anymore. I don't take any medication but Tylenol. I can numb out a little bit with food or with shopping or with stuff like that, but I don't use those things anymore. If I have an issue, or if I'm just feeling like blah, or like things aren't right, instead of going to a bottle of wine, or instead of turning on Netflix binge watching marathon or whatever they're called for 10 hours, I sit down and I think about it and I say, what the heck is going on? And how can I fix this? So I really lean into the hard things in my life and I work through those things. And that is why I'm able to live a life like I live today. I had to have professional help. There was no other way for me to stop my numbing than having someone else help. I think therapy is an incredible tool if you've gotten to a point where you feel like, I don't know if I can even change these behaviors on my own. There's so many just motivational people on YouTube and just everywhere that you can engage in, on your way to work, that you can listen to on the treadmill while you're exercising, that can literally change your life. I do have to maintain some sort of like inspiration, is what I call it. Some sort of like way to stay on track. So I talk to you guys all the time about like things that I'm reading, things that I'm listening to, things that I'm doing to do that. And I do these things every single day. So people say like meditate every day. I am not the best meditator. I really have to have something active. I gotta listen to a podcast and you gotta be talking to me like you really know what you're talking about, and you have to engage me in a story, and it really has to be motivational. That's what gets me hyped. So I do this on the treadmill or in the bathtub every single day. I listen to a ton of Oprah. I listen to a ton of Gary Vee. I listen to Jack Canfield. I listen to Rhonda Byrne. I listen to just so many different pieces that speak to me. So you have to find those pieces that speak to you. I like quick blurbs like podcasts. Super Soul Sunday has fantastic podcasts. Gary Vee has fantastic podcasts. There's so many really great, whether you want one on entrepreneurship or philanthropy or just living a healthy life or eating well. There's so many different things. So figure out what it is that you need motivation in, and find something that you can listen to. It really helps me to listen to it. If you're a reader, then grab a book. I'll write some of my favorite books below and read it at night while you're laying in bed. But really make it a point to find that piece every day that helps you. So instead of numbing out if you feel a certain way, go to that positive motivation. And now to the third, find your motivation. You have to have something that brings you to whatever you want to call it. You want to call it your center. You want to call it your happy place. You find something every day that helps you to live in this happy space. For me, I've told you guys all the time, love to be motivated by like a podcast or a book or an inspirational speaker or watching a motivational speech or a TED Talk. A lot of people are like, you can meditate every day and find your center. I cannot. I'm just not. I can't find it in stillness. I have to actively find my inspiration every single day. You have to find out what works for you. Is it health? Is it business? Is it philanthropy and giving back? Is it family? Because there are so many incredible pieces online or on these apps that you can listen to that keep you motivated. So when you are reaching for that thing that you want to use to numb things, when you get home from work and you want to watch 10 hours of a Netflix show, why don't you just try it for like 2 weeks and reach for something like this? I promise you this will change your life, because it's easy. Even when things are going really well, like things in my life are going really well, you kind of get to where you can coast a little bit. But I want to be fully engaged and like powering my ship forward every single day. And this really helps me to do that. I really, really want you guys to live a full and happy life and feel joy like on a level this high. And I want to help you do that.